Welcome back. It's Riisto here, and we quest to top 100. And I'm going to show you some replays I played yesterday. I didn't stream much on the previous days. Had some problems with bleeding in my mouth. Had periods, or actually wisdom tooth wound opened up, so had a little bit of trouble speaking at all. But I will show you some replays that I managed to play yesterday. And we'll start with the... So yesterday I was around 1500, a bit more, 1500, 1520 something. And I faced these two 1600 guys. I did lose one to a guy who was under 1500s also. With a rush he managed to count my both command vehicles. I've changed my tactic a little bit. Instead of rushing all out to meet my opponent on his territory, I now play a little bit more safe due to those rush type scenarios. Because if you rush against a rush, then it gets a dice game. It's not controlled anymore, the outcome, so much. So it's better just to build your territories more slowly. Use recon actually to know what's going on, and because you're not so forward out, you have more time to react to the information your recons give. So you can see I'm still having pretty much the same setup, Chaparral and infantry. I changed my jeeps out. Of course you get this first jeep when you start the game, but I took the Sultan, which has a little bit more armor, and it also has a machine gun to shoot infantry or aerial units which you come by. And most of all, it has a little bit of armor protection, so it doesn't die straight away when something sneezes at it. And also I changed the recon jeep to this Lux, mainly due to the autocannon on this thing. So this is a great thing for hunting down recon choppers or whatever aerial units. The autocannons can fire into the air. And also I have these ADG M2 Milans. And in here you can see that my opponent has quite heavy on the anti-air department. He has 3 bucks, which I know means cheap. Quite a lot of infantry and just one scout recon, and he goes all on this side. And my main objective in here was to scout the right side and the left side again with my recons, to take control of Charlie and then slowly push forward to Foxtrot and Juliet. So I managed to see here. Actually, I'm going to change to my perspective so you see what I saw. So I saw that he took this command vehicle there. I saw this supply trucks, and in here you can see actually driving through the forest I meet the recon. And it starts to shoot at me, but the autocannon on the Lux takes the recon quite fast. Concerning the points, I have 6 compared to his measly 3. So I have a very heavily fortified position here. I'm in no hurry anyway. I'm sending one recon out to watch the income from Bravo and checking with my recon chopper the Bravo and trying to scout if he's going for Delta also, or if there is any kind of flank going on. I'll speed this up a little. And at this point I was thinking about sending some kind of flanking patrol over to Echo, and I see him taking Juliet. And if we check his point of view, or the neutral, we can actually see that if I did send a flanking infantry unit through here, I would have been able probably to at least harass this, if not outright take. There are 4 infantry, but I bet these might be just a regular infantry or motorelki, which are not really good anti-infantry units. So again, I know I need to start pushing to Juliet, seeing that T80, seeing the bot. It starts to shoot at my Gazelle soon, I guess. And just sending some units out to get more. And here's a small bit of micro, because the range on the autocannon is quite big, 1500, it will reveal itself if the cannon is turned on. So immediately when it takes burst, I draw it back and later on push it forward. I was aiming for this edge with my Milans, but I saw something come in there, so I rethink my strategy. And here you can see my recon chopper going down. My motor is starting, and I did buy 3 of these paladins to get him out of his defensive position. And you can see in the crossfire I'm getting a few points here and there, but most of all I'm making him feel that he needs to do something about my artillery. The chopper out managed to take out his recon chopper. Lands and heavies that we are and he's starting to push in. His tank destroyer and T80 coming in. Luckily I don't have too much of tanks, and I try to spread out my artillery a bit more. He decides to get this out. So the cannon pretty awesome in forests. They managed to hold themselves quite well. And with constant supporting fire from my artillery, I managed to push the tank away. And as they start to retreat, I push forward with my infantry to claim the ground they just fled. Move my artillery forward from behind, and now my infantry is in close quarters with his tanks and anti-air units. And you can see points rapidly. I also did take one Gazelle off because I saw it in the lead, and it was lucky enough to get away. Still shelling this position all the time, damaging these units, making him feel insecure about his position on the map. Not only is artillery an offensive tool to rack up some kills, it's more of a mental tool to mess up, of course, with the morale of the troops in the game, but also the player itself. In here I see the bug, and I move forward with my box and was surprised, but the Lux actually takes it out quite fast. So the autocannon on the Lux is definitely worth it. I see there is a big bush coming in, so I start to move my units back from the forest because I don't have any infantry cover here in, apart from this one squad of chasseurs which get immediately destroyed. So better than lose, I start pulling my units back. I sacrifice my Black Panther to save my vehicle. And again I see more heroes coming in. I managed to save my other chaparral. I bring in some infantry which start to kill the vehicles inside the forest. And there you have it, 1500 to 800, total victory. And this guy, as you see, I was in 1500s, he was over 1600. So I felt pretty good after that one. But that was not the only good game I played. There were a few 1500 people. I think I lost one more and won some. And then I faced against this guy. He's also 1600s approximately. And we can see how this turns out. I will show you his composition. He gets his command all the way back and has some anti-aircraft guns next to it. So he's actually spreading out his troops on two sides. He has a lot of recon, quite a lot of infantry, again a lot of recon, another command vehicle, and then some infantry and tank destroyers, cavalry tanks. And I have pretty much the same composition as on previous. Same tactics utilized here. Hiding my command and forward observation base in a forward position to later on move it faster forward. And again I'll turn the fog of war on, show only what I see, so I know there's a recon here, I know there is a personal carrier coming, and from previous engagement which I met, I immediately throw my recon back because the East European personal carriers take out the recons really fast. So I was aiming to rush this forest, but because I see there is a recon there, I don't think I'm going to go for it. Or actually I am, as you can see how it goes out. And I also spot this rush here. Managed to take out that one. So I see there is a rush coming in, so I set up a position. And you can also see here that the Lux's autocannon actually killed one of the vehicles. So instead of just being recons, the Lux can also inflict casualties on the opponent. You can see there is a main road on the map driving straight through the whole town. I've set up my flak panzers around my command, not next to it, so they can actually start shooting before my command is already under attack. I do lose my gazelle here. Forget about it too long time in the forest. And my fama are getting overrun. There's just too many of the motorelki. And so I see they are still pushing forward, so I take my Sultan droid back, try to set up a defensive position alongside this main road. Try to flank them easily here also. Calling in 2 Zibos to put them in the forest, because I know there will be infantry, and another MBT-7 to take care of the transports. Here we see the power of the Riisto farmer next to the road, and one of the the rush was stopped there quite easily. And here my opponent actually won, but I'm also shelling it with my mortars. I'm drawing back my flak panzers to save it, bring the Zipo forward, and the MBT-70 is somewhere close by to give some fire support. And you have to use the target area ability to use the flames effectively. And again, I call my Fama to clear the forest in front of me. And I bring the others in over. And you saw straight away when I saw the Russians, I threw my command from the forward observation post, center of the other forest in the other end. And I'm still using my recon to see whenever he gets more people. And this was actually quite interesting. It seems that the flames don't do friendly fire damage, because I had both of these Zippos firing at this position where I had these 30 shots of Famal, and they didn't take a single casualty. That will be later on a huge advantage. Managing to see what's going on in my recon. I see there is remnants left in here, and I pushed myself to something to bring some more reinforcements further on the field. And at this point I start making a push to Foxtrot. Like in any normal battle, whenever you double attack, it's best to make it conflict. And I only dismount one squad of infantry to take out the recon. And my chaparral is again supporting my So if we look at the main map, I'm removing my combat vehicle forward to travel. I have quite a good defensive line here. I have some battle tanks keeping the main road, and then I'm making my consolidated push towards Foxtrot. As you can see, I managed to come in from direction I was not expecting. saw there is a command over here. I tried to get in with my Hamas, but I see there are people here, so I unload stuff. I actually tried to go in with my axe to take out the UAC. Even though I'm being shot at by the other recon, I actually managed to take out the UAC just with my axe. So a big flank around all the time to see for flanks and then going in for the sniping kill. And my motors are in perfect position. And I'm starting to move my troops up the main road because now I know that he will be putting all of his troops back towards his base to clear out my attack. So you can see from the points how the game is going on. My mortars are a bit vulnerable at this point. I see there is some kind of a tank destroyer rush coming in. So these supplies were meant for the attacking party, and I immediately take down some anti-vehicle missiles. There is also a chopper rush, which is shot down pretty fast by the 70s and flat panzers. So I bring out the anti-vehicle missiles and some infantry to this crossroads to take care of that attack, and throw my Sultan back, which gives me enough points for the victory. So again, I'm 1500 C1600s, a total victory. And then the last one, which still shows I've got things to learn. This was actually against 1800 guy. At this point I think I was something like 1550s. So I'm not feeling too confident going in, but with my new more careful advancing strategies, I feel that I might be able to make effort to beat him. So instead of rushing Foxtrot where I was cut off guard previously, I keep my hotel and go for golf. And then the idea is to push to Delta to have these 7 points and then slowly start creeping my way up. And we'll take a look at my opponent's composition in here. So he has flame tank, some command units. He's rushing out these command units, 1 recon, some bucks, quite a good composition of units, some tanks, and quite a lot of infantry, with some supplies mixed in between. And the difference in this match is that I forgot to get my recon choppers. So that's one of the reasons more not to rush out, just to take consolidated position next to the main road and the middle of the map. So I managed to get the forest, which I'm quite happy with, and I'm focusing my units. I saw the PTR, so I'm focusing my units on defensive positions. And as I learned from previous, I draw back my what do you call that? Armored units, carriers, APCs, armored personnel carriers, yes. And I saw where these troops went in, so I actually started shelling the position right away. Milans did take a few pot shots, but managed to hit, but didn't take out any of the APCs. And again, my tank army is on the right flank. That's the idea to make flanking move. And as you can see, my Milans were annihilated, but on the other hand, my Shopalka is At this point I feel confident enough to move my command to Delta to actually increase my income again. Because he has 5 and I only have 4. You can see my troops are spread a lot more than on the first games. I had them in tight groups. And there's a little bit of indecisiveness in here. But what is good about this occasion is that I see there is a flame track, half track there. So I'm leaving my MPGs behind. And as you can see, my opponent is trying to make a push for Foxtrot. Use my FAMAS and Sipo to take care of and I managed to flank his first position. And I have a Sipo beside his troops, which furthers my advance. And flank was taken care of. Still have, this was a bit of a mistake, letting these Motorelli into my weak facilities because they have pretty good attack capabilities. There is a missile battery firing my infantry. I'm taking some infantry casualties. And I see some APCs getting into Delta, so I withdraw my command vehicle. But as you can see, here is my biggest mistake, which is really just a stupid mistake. I even draw back my French battle tanks. I leave my command here instead of taking it back to goal, because the Southern is going there. And I think I'm safe shelling this position, waiting for present himself. And you can see the BMP taking 1 missile and taking out myself. So suddenly I'm at a huge disadvantage due to stupid error like that. I'm bringing some infantry to clear the forest. Again, the idea, as you can see, I have a defensive line here to threaten the attack from Charlie, and to have a cover on this area. As you can see, he's making an attack, and that Buratino was the missile launcher that was shelling my positions. So he's being confident, coming in. I get my MPT-70 to a flanking position, bring in my French tanks, try to get my Sipo in a position where it can cover the defense, but it gets destroyed. Tanks take a bit of damage, but the biggest thing is that they are routed, and I have to withdraw them. I know that the first is clear. I pushed it out with my 3 rifle squads. I took out my command from Hotel and brought it to Foxtrot, and I see his attack is setting up in this position. So I bring in some Zippo to stun the tanks, some more infantry, 4 units, and some anti-tank missiles. And because they are still tank, they still can't cover. So I bring back my APCs, the one thing destroyed. I managed to get the first position, so I over that. And you can see my Chasseur Fama and MBT-70 are starting closing the gap from here, and my resupply troops coming from the other side. So again we have this pincer move on this units. Sending in my APCs on purpose to draw some fire from the infantry. And you can see I'm trapping his main tank in a pocket. You can see it's already encircled. And in the meanwhile, I managed to draw back my mortar carriers, and there is one APC pushing. And suddenly the game is tied again. My Valkyrie did get enough morale to continue defense. So again, bringing some, actually bringing the APCs I did earlier to start the forest. I see he's having some anti-tank choppers, which is not a threat because I'm an infantry heavy. I managed to rout the UMBs, but don't take him out yet. This is my Sultan, which is never a good thing. But I'm confident because I have a lot of troops. Just cleaning up the remnants of these forces behind my lines. And it's quite close, 40, 46, 30, 60. I did get few anti-aircraft choppers to try to snipe the choppers down to gain the advantage. Making another resupply tour. And closing in a bit on the enemy. Now put this to neutral. My idea was to make a last push and hope that my attack is not loaded beforehand. Of course it is, because of that recon chopper. And he has already brought some fresh infantry to defend. Trying to flank from the forest side, which he has covered already, losing one of my helos, and then trying to rush in with my infantry, and the game ends. But the outcome is a draw. So I think if it's inside 150 points, it will be a draw instead of victory for one or the other. And you can see I'm 1533 and he was 1800 over. So at this point I said that I think I did quite well, and he said yes you did, and gave some compliments on the surround I made for these tanks. So obviously I'm improving. The games I showed you here show the progress I've made against the opponents. I'm not struggling anymore with less than 500 people. I'm actually making an effort for 1600s, and even can manage to give some trouble with playing well for the 1800s people and players. So that's about that. I'll be back later with What Daily, and maybe in the evening a little bit more of wargaming. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy any of my streams or videos, favorite the channel so you see when I'm online, when new content is out, or just send me a message if you have any questions or improvements. So